Hello there, internet. Hello there, YouTube. I'm very sorry if the sound of me pouring a drink was particularly loud coming through my microphone there. I still haven't quite gotten the settings, fully in spec. But I think it's definitely better now than it was. And yeah, we didn't have sound at all yesterday. I've been struggling a little bit with OBS. With various things, but welcome back anyway to the game is continuing solo hardcore playthroughs of X-Men Legends 2. We were in the midst of a Scarlet Witch playthrough. I mean, I say she's the worst character in the game, but we had also cleared the most difficult part of the game with her, so and it was a marathon. It took hours. But we will come back to that at some point. I still can't, unfortunately, get to my hard drive. Anyway, I probably just need to reseat some RAM or something in my old PC, just, basic troubleshooting, but I just haven't, all I had time really to do today was just kind of plug it in and try a few different monitor slots and blah, blah, blah. No luck. I couldn't get the display to come up, but it's still all functioning, and as I say, it's probably just RAM getting bounced loose or something, but either way. We will continue the Scarlet Witch run at some point, but for now, I'm going to have to do a run or I'm going to start a new run playing as Magneto, and this is what I tried to do last night, and ended up having to scrap not that much gameplay just because of the audio not coming through. Anyway, we're going to get started. We're going to get in there, and I believe
Let the games begin.
Yeah, I have some buttons here. So here we are, and yeah, it looks like the game sound is definitely coming through, and I could probably turn it up maybe a little bit. It's just that, it's really loud for me. Sorry, it seems like my microphone is being hypersensitive right now, at least on OBS. Anyway, for this we have to start a new game, so we're going to start on normal, which means we will be playing through the prologue. And something I mentioned yesterday, which obviously never made it live, or did briefly make it live, was that this game just runs really smoothly, really nicely.
To the X-Jet, Nightcrawler. All right.
On the newer Windows, which is cool. So, not much point really talking about Magneto just yet. Hold on, I might have to just turn this down a little bit because actually, hold on. What I can do is, yeah, okay. Alright, sorry, it sounds so loud in my ears that I feel like it must be blocking my voice out, but OBS says it's not, and if anything, I could probably turn it up a little bit. But as I say, it's so loud in my ears that it makes it hard for me to talk and hear what I'm saying. But anyway, so Magneto, I would say if you were to take away the characters in this game who are legitimately broken,
looky here, target. This ain't over.
Breaking a sweat.
then I would say Magneto is an S tier character. The S tier is actually, it is the province of the completely broken characters in this game. So Iron Man, Pyro, and Sunfire, because they can essentially one-shot everything, and Pyro and Sunfire are functionally invincible after level 15. Basically, they'll be invincible to any fight that actually matters. Whenever there's a chance that they could die, they can just say no to that. And yeah, so I have to do this this first part. Obviously, we have to do this as a team because blank save. Never played the game on this PC before, which it kind of shows you how you can just punch your way through the game as a team. And the funny thing is, if you had to do this area as a solo, it would be super challenging for a lot of characters, just because it throws you like this first ambush room where where's the cover? Where do you go? Where do you fight these guys?
I cannot do that because I lack the power.
You're a waste of my time.
But yeah, I'm not really like discussing Magneto's like abilities or build or anything just yet. Once we have him out on like by himself, and I can actually kind of demonstrate some things without all these like bodies in the way. It's funny, like when you play this game solo, in some ways it can almost be frustrating playing with 4 people because it just doesn't matter. You could just basically walk through the game and let your team completely carry you.
Yes. If you win.
So it just kind of feels like mindless, and there's little incentive to do more than like just button mash,
very well,
punches and kicks even. Finding equipment, it's like it's nice, but it's not gonna like you're not gonna get super hyped about having like one destiny slot piece to spread among 4 characters. Like you're already kicking the game's ass anyway. Like it doesn't matter. And they just physically get in the way. So when you're trying to like, it doesn't matter that they get in your way because nothing matters when you have 4 bodies to throw at all your problems, and 4 sets of damage and 4 sets of 4 health bars and so on. So nothing really matters when you're. When you're playing the game like this, but you're used to it mattering, So, in your, like, if you're used to playing this game solo, then what's going to happen is, like, you have all these, like, in your brain, you're saying danger because you're taking damage. The damage doesn't matter when you're scoring, because even if you die, who cares? Like, it's just one person dead. It doesn't end the run or anything, and you can easily get resurrected.
Yes, the next level.
Oh, that was a really nice find, actually. Huge, absolutely like crazy drop. Really nice. But anyway, let's go to Sanctuary, actually get rid of these bozos. Save my game for the first time.
Greetings.
On the new system. But yeah, so the old, we will get those save games back. Like, I'll legitimately like take the hard drive out of it and like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I need to like I think I have an even older PC that that I could like transfer the hard drives to if I need to. Yeah, hold on, I gotta get rid of these guys. So basically, like, I'm not, at the very least, like, the Diablo data, all my items and everything else, grandfather, Windforce, things like that, there's no way. There's no way I'm leaving them behind. Like, I will 100% get access to that hard drive again.
Greetings.
I mean, these are kind of meaningless. I guess we'll hold on to that. But yeah, so that's a huge early game find. And we can talk a little bit about Magneto's build, why he's good. I mean, the reason why he's good is because he really only needs 1 damage skill, and it's not particularly skill intensive to max out, and it literally does everything, and I use the word literally there deliberately to mean what it actually means. The ability can clear the entire game, you don't need to use any of the other abilities. But yes, so because of that, he saves a lot of skill points that he can pump into passives and boosts and buffs. And he has some very, very good ones, and they give him exactly what you need, because, what do you need? You need damage. He has damage. Damage is covered. So the only thing you need then is survivability. well, that's exactly what he gets. He's got a really good passive for survivability, and he's got one of the best buffs in the game for just mitigating damage, and it genuinely makes him. You know, it gets to the point where he just flatly ignores like, 60, 70% of range damage, and then like 40, 50% of melee damage, and then of the damage that gets through, it's reduced. So something I can actually show off is that we can build bridges with Magneto, which is very handy. He does have flight, which is extremely handy. Flight, very useful, even just from a quality of life standpoint. If you have to backtrack, if you have to go a long distance, just get it done quickly. His starting skill, levitation, is quite decent. As you can see, you kind of throw one bug into the other, the damage is decent, especially if one hits the other. Because it yeets them back, it's relatively safe to just kind of stand there. You don't have to kite too much, but if you do have to kite, it's got a really good, crisp like animation, fast cast time, so you can definitely kite with it. The fact that it lifts enemies up and throws them back is very handy. Even with one skill point in it, you will still potentially use this ability even in the late game, just because sometimes you just want something out of your face, and it's fast and it gets them out of your face. It can also be used to ledge enemies, which is very handy because it means it's a one skill point, one shot. That yes, it's environmentally dependent. This is super frustrating. We keep hitting the guys in the back rather than throwing the front guy into the back guy. A little bit annoying. That's the wrong button. Okay.
Victory is mine.
The funny thing is, it's this uncanny waistband that's actually kind of messing us up in some ways, because it's killing them so quickly, it's destroying the corpse outright. So I can't throw one enemy into the other. I actually kind of need to take it off. I'm going to eat a lot of damage in this starting area because of this, but we will definitely want it later. Yeah, you'll see what I mean. Because what's happening is we're just deleting one enemy, and then the enemy behind him runs up and takes a swing at us instead of getting CC'd. I don't want to waste ability.
You should have run when you had the chance.
I definitely want to do some like Magneto gameplay in Marvel Rivals. I'm pretty mid, but now that I've got the PC for it, I might as well. I think it's a fun game to stream. And I think people are more likely to want to watch that than this. But I'll probably never, I've never stopped doing the X-Men Legends, at least until I've done every character on both difficulties. But yeah, you can see how much, how weirdly the item was nerfing us. Because now, as I say, we throw one into the other, so the single target damage is lower.
Once again, I am victorious.
But see how we can just stand there and it CCs them and deals with them? As you can see, even if you just have to punch something, his early game, just punch damage is not bad at all. Which is nice. Because you don't have infinite EP in the early game. I mean, you technically do, but you don't want to have to play like that. You guys saw what we went through with Scarlet Witch.
You didn't.
Say, let me create snow trouble. Sure.
So yeah, what makes Magneto good is, as I say, he just has everything you want. go ahead and pop that back on. And we pretty much just go body focus forever. And so this is the ability that, as you can see, 25, even on level 1, 25% chance. And the scaling is not the best, but you have to remember it's a 20 skill point ability. So this does scale to about 50% if you fully invest in it. And it's one of the few abilities in this game that is worth the full 20 point investment, if you can. But yeah, so the other ones that you will like are magnetic deflection, at the very least 1 point, because it's 8%, and some points in intimidation also don't necessarily go astray. And that's about it. I mean, because as I say, the only attack skill that you actually max is this one, Shrapnel Sentry. And everything else you leave at 1 skill, and then you probably max Metallic Mayhem as well. Just the thing is, Metallic Mayhem doesn't necessarily clear screens faster than Shrapnel Sentry.
Once again, I am victorious.
But it clears a wider area, or hits a wider area. And, you know, it's using a different resource. So there are situations where you maybe don't have energy, there's an EP drain enemy, there's an EP drain trap. It can be very useful in those situations. But also situations where there's just like a screen full of enemies, and you have an extreme token, might as well use it. Now it's like, yes, the elites might survive, but at least you've cleared all the ads, all the trash, and then you just throw Shrapnel Sentry to kill the elites, and Shrapnel Sentry is very good at that. Yeah, because Shrapnel Sentry is one of those abilities that, you know, it's like, so you throw out a little bomb, and it explodes, does a big, like, AoE damage burst, and the idea is that you're supposed to kind of use it as a trap. You're supposed to use them like mines or something, but the reality is you just throw them out there like bombs, because there's no delay for the detonation, so there's no reason to.
I am victorious.
But you can do that. I mean, you can also set them like traps, which is actually pretty good, because there are situations where you want to like kite something around a corner or something. You already have a bunch of sentries laid out, so yeah, very good.
I cannot do that because I lack the
sentry aspect of it is just a buff to its functionality rather than a limitation, rather than something that limits its functionality, because you can literally just use them as bombs, like just throwing out a kind of spread of grenades or something. Now the thing is, the more you rank it up, the more bombs that you eventually get. So it gets to the point where I think you throw out 5. You start with 1. And of course, the damage on them increases as you invest. So it's like every time you get an extra bomb, you're just getting this flat 100%, or not 100%, but it starts at 100%, and then it's like a 50% multiplicative increase to your total damage. And so it's the increase from the base damage, but also things like focus and damage on equipment. So if you have plus 50 damage from your equipment, that's getting procced 3 times if you have 3 Shrapnel Sentries. And believe me, that is very meaningful. Like when you start stacking sentries on a single target and you start getting them like overlapping, that's how Magneto kills like tough elites and bosses and stuff. And his kill time on bosses is not bad at all. And as always, this area super dangerous. But, you know, I'm not too worried about it as Magneto, as long as we can, because he's energy resistant. The annoying thing is, like, I actually want to be on this guy. Okay, now we're good. Now we can chill. Let me just pick them off. As you can see, so energy economy could become a problem, but it's fine. You know, we have regen. If we have to just do it with patience, we can. But as you can see, I'm not worried about dying down here. I'm not worried about, you know, having to spend minutes and minutes kiting and slowly picking apart the groups. Like, we have relatively effective damage. Where we're likely to struggle is deeper in the tunnels around, like the tunnels where you find Zealot, the ones that you get to after you fight Grizzly.
Run when you had the
They are going to be really bad because there's enemies down there that can't be CC'd, so you can't knock them back at all. So that aspect of this ability is, you know, gone, and that's a considerable damage multiplier on this ability. When you're attacking more than one enemy, it's meaningful. As you can see, auto-targeting is never perfect, and even with an ability that I consider to be like good, it can still feed you a lot of just random whiffing and wasted time, which, you know, it's why these enemies are so dangerous, because, you know, there are time tax.
How pathetic. I cannot do that because I lack the power.
Oh my, I almost died. I think those barrels might honestly be coded to like leave you on 1 hit point, because I probably should have died there. Not my fault, by the way. The bug actually blew up the barrel. I mean, still technically my fault because I should have kited away from the barrels, but another one of these spitters. Okay, we're done in here, that's good. Oh, no, not. Still another one. Man, it's so nice when you can just one-shot them.
You were less than formidable.
Pardon me, my phone is beeping at me. Alright, sorry about that. But yeah, so Magneto, I'm not expecting any problems with Magneto apart from in this early stage. As I say, when we get to the Cersei tunnels, what's going to happen is we're going to start using a lot of energy, and we're going to have to do a lot of kiting to deal with those big guys.
Once again, I am
And
victorious.
if you've been watching along with any of these, you'll know what I'm talking about when I say the big guys. We're down in, let's call them Zealots tunnels. And this is just like a conveyor belt of enemies,
I
but
require more
it's
power to do that.
safe to just stand here and wait for my AP to go up. And I know this is not thrilling gaming, but unfortunately, if you want to get a good start in this game, these are things that you kind of have to do.
How pathetic.
I was hoping I could pick that guy off. Because these guys I'm not really scared of, but they're dangerous when the bugs are around. But if it were just the robots there, I would happily melee them. Because with that piece of equipment that we got, our melee damage is actually quite nice. This guy is such a nuisance. Alright, that's good. Let's do our level. Yeah, another point. This is our leveling build, you know, so it's gonna stink. It's not gonna make any sense, but that's... leveling builds do be like that. And the first kind of dangerous boss mob of the game. And as always, anything we can kite back. So this is where you can use fly. You can see how much space I can get on them. It still doesn't necessarily allow you to like insta-kite out. But it can also allow you to use those. You do need a teensy bit of EP just to maintain the flight. But yeah, flight is just a really nice tool, especially in the early game. But it's a handy tool to have all game. And hold on. I mean, I guess we just slowly work on polarized shields so we can at the very least have a somewhat usable one for the occasional boss fight. Oh, I pushed way too deep in here. I should have moved in much more slowly. Damn, I was hoping to throw him into this guy. That's okay. The main thing is I don't want to aggro that group. At least not before these guys have been dealt with. Uh-oh. I think, yeah, we just aggroed them, unfortunate. That's okay. Yeah, the main thing was wanting to save some EP. Oh my god, the ranged attacks, like, pardon me? How far away were we? Yeah, they poop them out fast, and my camera settings are unfortunately unknown to me because all my keybinds have been reset. Hold on. That's fine. Yeah, see, even now we're getting really low on EP.
You were less than formidable.
And we're gonna have to start scrounging a little bit. We can isolate some of these fights and just punch these guys to death because of, as I say, our base damage is not the worst, and we have, we just got a massively lucky equipment drop. But here's the thing, you know, like, gonna have to just come out of there, lure the big guys out at the very least, get the robot out.
Once again, I am victorious.
You see just how much of a difference it makes having decent damage, even just decent damage on the punches. Like, think about how long it took to kill even one of these bugs as Scarlet Witch. Because we couldn't do a full combo on them because it didn't kill them, and then, you know, they would then get free damage on us. So all we could do was tap them once or twice, and then immediately reposition and try to bait out another melee. And hold on. Yeah, I kind of want to demonstrate that if possible, but terrible enemy to actually have to demonstrate it on because of the EP drain. I hate those robots. I hate enemies that like don't want to interact with you. It's super frustrating. It's kind of understandable if it's like, I don't know, an enemy that kind of buffs other enemies or something, and I can understand it just kind of trying to exist. Those guys, I suppose, kind of are supposed to, like, the idea is that you maybe let them get behind you, and then they can like come in and they can stun you. They have a hard CC, so then that can potentially get you into a lot of trouble. Yeah, glad we got two of them, but we're not going to try and rush this. We'll try to lure this guy out. These guys are, like, they have a freaking hard-on for keeping a sightline on you. They will follow you. Otherwise, they would be just unmanageable as enemies. Like, if they genuinely just, like, sat and camped and held their space, like 3 of them standing next to each other, and just sent a stream of these little guys at you, like, the early part of this game would legitimately be unfinishable for a lot of characters.
I require more
Or it would basically be RNG, because you'd have to just, like, hard commit and try to dive and kill them all without losing a health bar. Or losing too much, too many resources. And most heroes in this game are going to lose way too many resources trying to brute force these areas. Now here... this is actually really rough. There's so many of them in there.
How pathetic. Perhaps you don't know who I am.
Yeah, this ability's not the worst for sniping them though, you know, like, we've made way worse stuff work. We're gonna have to try to thin that mass out just a little bit before we try to punch some of them to death. Ah, get out of here. Alright, we got this. Super easy. Hold on, I want to get stuck in the... Oh, that was so clunky. Where did that guy come from?
Yes! More power!
Actually, kind of...
Pathetic.
Perfect moment to get a level up just for the EP. It's funny, like, the challenge that the enemies pose really only, like, it just doesn't exist when you're playing with 4 heroes, and I genuinely wonder if this game was supposed to have a 3rd difficulty or, you know, something. Because there's all these little things about, like, the way the enemies are designed, right? Where it's like you have these guys that are just designed to rush you down and they're super fast. And then you have the ranged guys who just kind of are there to tax your resources, like constantly poking you with their ranged attacks and constantly pooping out the super dangerous little bugs that just take up space and, really like hard punish you if you try to like dive in and get on them. And, just like, so that, like, first you have to like lure the big fast guys away, pick them off one at a time, come back, there'll be like a carpet of little guys, you have to deal with them somehow. If you can pick up the breeders beforehand, then that's great, but you probably can't. Oh my gosh. Man, that took a lot of resources. It wasn't dangerous though, so not a big problem. Yeah, really nothing for us to get at this point. And we just keep going on body and focus. But yeah, as I was saying, like, so the enemy design, but it's all meaningless when you have 4 people in your team. Like, it doesn't matter that a bunch of little bugs are coming out.
How pathetic.
Because the thing you have to remember as well is, like, you see his ability, like, he does have passive EP regen. It's not super fast, but it gets much faster as the game progresses, and much more meaningful. It will eventually get to the point where, like, this ability that I'm using now, levitation, where I can basically never run out of energy while casting it. And even if my energy is extremely low, I can still essentially just cast it ad infinitum. That's not even that far away. Like, if I were to leave this ability at level 1, that's not even that far away in terms of, like, how much higher I need to level, how much more focus I need to invest, even just 1 point in Mutant Master for that base 30%, blah, 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 blah. But the fact of the matter is, that resource is now multiplied by 4 heroes. So you genuinely do get to fights where it's just like, just your passive EP regen is enough to just bash your way through without essentially using a single energy pot. But then, of course, you also have the simple reality is that
I trust you're not.
you don't even need to use EP when you're playing in a group, because you can just bring well, there are team-ups you can bring that where it's like every enemy you kill gives you 20 EP or something. Or there's a team-up that flat gives EP leech, like 5%. So it's like early game you use the one that gives you EP per kill, late game you use the leech one, and you just have infinite EP. But you also have Scarlet Witch and Phoenix, who can provide 20% damage to EP leech, basically, which early game, not particularly meaningful. But even coming into the mid game, you know, once you start unlocking more powerful damage, especially AoE stuff, you know, like I think Magneto by about like level 20 or something, if he has that ability on him, can essentially just infinitely spam Metallic Sentry. You know, similar thing where like Pyro or Sunfire would be able to spam Burn. Nightcrawler would probably be able to spam Divine Blades, like, you know, just any ability that hits. But even something like, I don't know, like Colossus or something, even someone who's like, I don't know, spamming some like really focused, mostly single target damage, like the damage of that is going to be so high that even one cast, you know, 20% of it is going to be more EP than it costs to use. So you, as I say, you eventually get to the point where either Scarlet Witch or Phoenix can essentially give you infinite EP. That, and as I say, it doesn't even take long to get to that level. Then you have Bishop, who can just flatly give everyone infinite EP, even for buffs and abilities that don't do damage, will cost no EP when he uses his buff. And that lasts for 45 seconds.
Here they are!
Victory is mine!
Oh, I didn't realize I was actually in the AoE is that.
Here they are!
Once again, I am victorious.
Yeah, Magneto is definitely a good character in this game, and typically is going to have an easy time soloing. As I say, outside of this area that we're coming up to now, these caverns, they are where he will struggle. They're actually where he will also struggle a lot on a replay through on hard. He can struggle a lot down there as well.
Less than 4
Actually, no, not there, not there. Where is it where he struggles? I think it's the sewers. So, pretty much everyone struggles in the sewers. Because on hard, the brutes are immune to physical and razors are immune to energy, and then the resurrectors are immune to mental. So no matter, like, because the thing with the Morlocks is like they kind of cover for each other, so you can't just kind of like if you use mental damage, you're kind of just gonna struggle down there, because the first thing you want to pick off is the thing that's basically immune to your damage. Luckily,
Once again, I am
characters aren't really that reliant on mental damage. Like even Jean, who is going to be, if you are sensible and you build her as a melee character, which is the way to build her, trust me. By the time you're back on a hard playthrough, you will have your base physical damage will be actually very high. You'll be like a Fireclaw Bear Druid or something, you know, where it's like, yeah, you have all this like massive elemental damage on your attacks that can allow you to just straight up pretty much one-shot everything that isn't immune to that damage. But if you come across stuff that's immune to that damage, you just kind of bash it to death the old-fashioned way. Man, it stinks having to punch this thing to break it. If I had... Actually, you know what? Let's see if I can just get this level.
Here they are!
Here they are! Alright. So. Now we unlock Magnetic Shell, and we're probably still going to put an extra point in Levitation. It's very tempting to get Polarized Shield. Oh, just a little bit higher, but... It's fine, it's fine. Yeah, we'll keep these. I don't mind letting focus run away a little bit. It's very, very justifiable as Magneto, particularly towards the more late game when you start getting... Because eventually you get to the point where you just have Polarized Shield up permanently. You know, because it's going to last for like 40 seconds or a minute and, you know, cost a pittance to cast. And yeah, so this is why I wanted to get this ability. And this is just like a beam. The problem is it does energy damage, so yeah. As I say, early game, enemies that are resistant to energy, like those big guys, very dangerous. But still, a nice, precise beam that does decent damage. The cast time is a little bit longer than Levitation, but Levitation also needs to be able to fling stuff in order to do its max damage, so if you can't fling stuff for whatever reason, the Metal Prison ability, like the beam, will just do more damage, so it's good to have both in the early game, is basically what I'm saying. But when I say early game, I mean basically at the end of Act 1, we will unlock Shrapnel Sentry.
I cannot do that because I lack the power.
Like, it's literally level 14. And typically you end Act 1 on level 14 or 15, depending on how much bonus content you do and how many of the early homing beacons you get. Magneto can get all the homing beacons in this act, by the way, which is quite nice. We get both bonus EXP, which is very cool.
Good. They are here.
I require more power to do that. How typically feeble.
Yeah, happy to just punch my way through these grubs. Don't think we need to go back to get anything to deal with Grizzly. The uncanny bands have just been an absolute boon. And I think...
Well, looks like you punks managed to kill...
So as you can see, that ability, auto-targeting, it really stinks. And auto-targeting is never perfect in this game, but... But as you can see, when you can actually hit with the telekinesis ability, the damage is pretty comparable to this one. It just has a faster cast time and is safer to use. Oh my gosh. Okay.
I require more power to do that.
hello game, I'm clicking here and I'm running at him, meleeing him.
I require more power to do that. I require more power to do that.
As you can see,
I require more power.
very grindy, even with bonus gear. Magneto's damage is not his strong point in the early game. In fact, he really lacks for it. Because remember, this is with a really nice piece of bonus damage equipment that, you know, there's no guarantees you're going to have that on your own. So now we're just going to... Yeah, just try to sneak some punches in there just to keep the health bar going down while EP goes up a little bit. Now you see how sometimes he like blocks a shot and it does 8, you hear that like sound? So that's what defense does. But defense only does that with auto attacks. And this is why I say defense is useless. Because you can see how useless it is even for these guys. And these guys don't have to like sacrifice stats for it, like they just have a huge amount of it for free. Oh my god. Oof, that was a little bit of a grind, but here we are.
That's
Little twat doesn't drop even a single EV pod. He drops so many pots with no EV pods. So I can't even afford to fly out of here. I can fly out a little bit. So let's pop back. I should have a decent amount of equipment to sell. Ah, yeah, I've got quite a lot of stuff actually. That's not bad. 1 EP per knockout at this stage of the game. That's not nothing. And I should be able to get this. And that's gonna set us up really freaking nicely. Whatever. We're having such a like comfy early game for like money and gear and everything that might as well spoil ourselves. That's actually really nice. Good to get that. Let's go ahead. We don't have any stats. Okay. Yeah, and we do have our danger emissions, which you know, I only really do stuff like that when I know I'm on a weaker character and I'm going to struggle. And even though I know I'm going to struggle down here as Magneto, actually maybe not with the equipment we have. We have really freaking nice equipment.
How typically feeble.
Yeah, like I said, we should really just be able to punch through these guys at this point. I still do need to watch out for that. That this ability effectively doesn't have its CC element because it's doing too much damage.
I am victorious.
I don't think it's necessarily worth taking the equipment off at this point, though. Man, that's so crazy. Even with 2 pieces of plus damage gear, I can't... super reliably hit the breakpoint on those guys with this ability that we have been investing in. They're just so dangerous. It's crazy how dangerous they are.
This is incredible.
We locked out so hard on that gear piece as well. There always seems to be psychic gear in Hank's shop. Okay, that's a little bit scary. Let's
How typically feeble.
and never feel bad about running away. Just run away. Even if you're literally just running to like think about what you're gonna do next or what you should do next. And it's just like maybe you're just gonna like int for value in the end anyway, but it's like, you know, if you think for a few seconds and you think, okay, the best course of value is for me to rush this,
Once again, I am
then maybe that is the best course. Wow, that's a lot of elites.
I require more power to do that.
Alright, sorry about that. I am keeping an eye on a baby monitor at the moment, so I may actually be a little bit more quiet than typical. And everything should be fine. She's asleep, so... And yeah, we probably just keep going with Polarized Shield. Polarized Shield is one of those abilities where like it almost feels, it can sort of feel bad to have to invest in it in the early game, or it would. But the nice thing with Magneto is like it kind of, like where else am I going to put those skill points anyway? So yeah, I don't even miss. It's like if I'm playing Cyclops or something, or like, you know, and I just needed all these skill points just to keep my damage okay. Like we're actually investing in 2 damage skills, and I still don't feel bad about putting points in Polarized Shield. And one of the things that the good characters in this game all have in common.
You were less than formidable.
or rather, one of the things that the bad characters in this game tend to have in common is that just they need more skill points than they can have. Like, you can almost kind of theory craft a usable build on pretty much everyone in this game, even Scarlet Witch. But realistically, like on Scarlet Witch or something, the kind of build that's going to make you feel strong solo is going to be like 3 best in slot items, and you're going to need to be like level 65 or something. So you can max Amplified Rock, Scarlet's Touch, get a bunch of points dumped into Strike after, you know, putting enough in Body and Focus that you're not destroying yourself with the investment. But if you can do that, then yeah, at like level 70 or something, with like level 70 gear, good rares that give plus physical damage and plus elemental, Scarlet Witch can feel amazing. Well, probably not amazing, I mean, compared to like, you know, Iron Man or something. But she's gonna feel decent. Gonna feel pretty decent.
You are less than formidable.
But, you know, you end up basically finishing the game with a really gimped, incomplete, not particularly strong build, and you never have all the resources you need to put on your ideal build. And this is one of the reasons why I always rate a character like Colossus is always rated high for me, you know?
are less than formidable.
Because, like, honestly, like, some of his skill points are just, like, some of his skills are just, like, you know, do what you want. Like, if you want to get raw, get raw. If you prefer Metallurgy to have some base tankiness outside of when you're using Steel Skin, then get Metallurgy instead. You know, or hell, even something else. It really doesn't matter. Like, you know, you get a third attack skill if you just want to mix it up and have some variation, or... You know, the end thing is that, like, you know, you have the points. There are characters who are kind of, they have those really exhausting, like, builds that you're not going to have until they're, like, level 70. Like, Bishop is one of those characters, but Bishop is okay. He's not bad before he has that, like, perfect build on.
You should have run when you had the chance.
It's super handy being able to just, like, toss those guys about. What I'm really trying to do is get a ledging, just to show you guys that it can be done.
To do that.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. So it's just a matter of getting the angle right and lifting them up high enough. Which, you know, it's a one-shot. Like, there's no such thing as a useless one-shot. And... yeah, this is what I was talking about when I said this could get grindy. That was just one of them.
How evil.
But as I say, luckily, we're so blessed with our equipment, we really can kind of just punch through a little bit.
How typically. I'm even stronger than before.
This level shouldn't be too bad. There aren't, or is this level where they are? I don't know. I always because these levels, because the levels in these caves are so samey. It's I don't really want to put points in Mutant Master, so we probably just save that one. Like, don't get me wrong, Mutant Master is great. If you're playing someone like Toad.
Victory is
But someone like Magneto, who's going to be leveling up the damage abilities that he uses, no amount of energy regen is going to keep pace with the amount of energy that you spend. You're just going to have to drink potions, and you're just going to have to like set yourself up so that you kill stuff before you run out of potions, or that you kill enough stuff to get more potions back. Which, very doable because you have good damage, good AoE damage. It's even better.
once again. I am victorious.
You don't necessarily have that in the early game. But anyway. And it feels nice to be streaming again, even though I'm not doing the Scarlet Witch one. It just feels good. I was bummed about last night, and then by the time I realized that the audio wasn't working, it was really too late to like start another stream and try to, because I wouldn't like to stream and then not at least clear Act 1. It feels like a cheat, because I always do Act 1.
How pathetic.
But yeah, these big guys, they just kind of beat you up as Magneto. There's not a lot you can do about it. Luckily, at this stage of the cave, there aren't too many of them around. But even just like these two, it's such a problem because you can't like throw them at the bugs behind them,
You should have run when you had the chance.
And even this ability is, it's like part energy damage, part physical. Yeah. Does it actually show you how which one is? Yeah, so it's mental damage on lift, physical damage at impact. And as far as I know, those guys, they're not immune to physical, but I think they're a little bit resistant to mental damage as well. Damn, I heard an item drop. Hurts my Blue Goblin soul to lose items in the bottomless pit, but typically when they do drop, they pop directly into your inventory. It's only if they get stuck somewhere before hitting like an inaccessible, floor, like a floor that would kill your hero, basically. There's that guy just giving me like the best freaking jukes. Alright. Maybe a teensy bit risky to come down with just the one EP pot.
You couldn't have chosen a yes, just do it.
How pathetic. I cannot do that because I lack the power.
The crazy thing is, like, given the situation we have here, where we have a decent amount of physical damage and we kinda can just punch through.
Well, the professor down in this. If you need a... Now...
Hello. Are you in need of help?
Pardon me. I was checking the monitor and
I think you'll find my prices to be most reasonable.
turning the sound up a little bit. Okay. So just making sure the sound is all audible. Now we don't have stats, and yeah, there's nothing I can really do with this skill. So just jump straight back down.
You were less than formidable.
So yeah, what I did want to do is so I wanted to make sure I have polarized shield bound, because here's the thing, we're gonna basically have to punch our way through these guys anyway. So we'll use our EP
So our master Zep, he is. We are. Need no survivors.
to
I cannot do that because I lack the power. Once again, I am victorious.
man, actually 3 of them just wandering in when we're dealing with another mob. They're such jerks.
How pathetic.
This is actually very good. We want them to kind of come through one at a time if at all possible.
I cannot do that because I lack the power.
Because if I have to just walk into the middle of that mob, we're going to eat so much damage. Come on. Come on.
You should have run when you had the chance.
That guy was a cool guy. Come on. Climb up. Yes. This guy refuses to attack me, like he won't let me bait it out, but now he's just kind of derping, so
You
that's
were
cool.
less
Let's kill him for free.
formidable.
And I'll keep that process going, if possible. Man, these guys, mental and endurance, they're just resistant to everything we do. It's like, those are the types of enemies that are going to cause you considerable difficulty on a hard playthrough if you don't have more than one damage type. Now, I smell like McDonald's or Burger King, just like French fries.
It appears my
Someone around here's got them.
victory is mine.
Hold on. Wow. That could actually be worth putting on. We'll see. Because some abilities will, like...
I'm unable to go that way.
Oh my gosh. Some abilities will take, like, some non-physical abilities.
direction.
This is so frustrating. Please let me out of here. But yes.
Dare challenge, zealot. You'll never win.
You're a waste of my time.
Yes, so some abilities, the physical damage will transfer over. So like telekinesis, I'm fairly sure it will transfer over. This one, I don't think it will. But, as you can see, the physical damage allows us to cut through these guys very easily. Don't even need to have Polarized Shield up. Pretty much just 3-shot them. So, hugely nice find. Just like any concerns we might have had about this area and how much resources it would take to get through.
Still alive.
All fine. All good.
How incredible.
And that's a nice. Purely off the strength of items, we are having a really easy time in here. And that was the funny thing as well, our Scarlet Witch had some really goated items where she had got to. And that was one of the reasons why she wasn't kind of struggling more so, because she can struggle a lot, even in the late game. And she would have, even in that playthrough, she would have started to struggle eventually.
Sales are final.
You know, because eventually you'll get to an act where you just don't get those amazing gear drops. And all that best in slot stuff you have is just starting to fall off a little bit. So I guess we just keep pumping levitation. And yeah, might as well go Polarized Shield as well, to the extent that we can get it. Because it's getting pretty decent, mainly for the duration at this point. That's really what we want to get higher. Because eventually you will get to a point with it where it's just like, you know, you're pretty much just always going to have it up. Whereas for now, it's more for like damage mitigation if I have to go melee fight, and boss fights.
You can, but
You were less than formidable.
So that does 61, that does 52. Okay, so this one actually considerably
cannot
better.
do that because I lack the power.
And yeah. As always, Zealot, not particularly difficult. He just doesn't do enough damage to be scary. The CC is annoying, but you know, it is what it is. If you don't mind, you can...
I require more power to do that.
You can try to kind of bait him to a spot where he just can't hit you. But then we just get like random no-rags like this. It's super frustrating. But it's okay, he's getting shit down. Oh my. Three whips in a row.
I require more power to do that.
Whiff? No whiff.
I cannot do that because I lack the power.
And yeah, you can just use the dive bomb on him pretty effectively, but it's good to just have a way of pumping a little bit of damage when you're waiting for your EP to go back up. Because as you can see, it's not consistent. Oh, I still haven't done.
I require more power to do that. I cannot do that because I lack the power.
You won't last much longer.
I cannot do that because I lack the power.
Curse you, Magneto!
Alright, we'll get these doors open, but then I'll go back for the last Cersei Queens. You know how I managed to skip that.
Quickly, get out of here.
And this is where flight is very nice. But we will go get some EV bots first, so I didn't have to come back.
Hello.
Shake that, healthy wasteland. And yeah, I don't know how I missed that entire area. Derpy. It's fine though. Flight makes it rather painless. You have to come back. Oh, I see what happened. I just got sidetracked with that room because I knew it was going to be a frustration. And then I forgot to come back here. Wait, please?
Victory is mine!
And that's handy. The crazy equipment just keeps coming. Like that would have been nice. It would have been nice to get a belt, but that is what it is. The game will always do that to you. It always has the desire sensor. It's... Yeah, maybe we would just leave that one guy. He's fine. He can like repopulate the species down here, I suppose. And man, it's so nice having flight and just being able to like zoom through these sections of the map. Meow. Meow. Whoosh. And yeah, this area can start to get a little bit grindy with Magneto because it's like you want to get those 4 levels for Shrapnel Sentry, but like you're not killing stuff super fast, so it is what it is. You just kind of have to, you know, methodically go through and just clear the areas and do the objectives. And, you know, as it stands, it's kind of wild to complain. We are having such a blessed run in terms of the equipment that I've found.
Yes! More power! You should have run when you had the chance.
Yeah, levitation definitely putting in more work than the beam.
I found a target.
One of the reasons why the beam looks so bad compared to levitation is the beam should put them in like a metal prison, but that particular ability and a bunch of Iceman's abilities have this problem where bonus damage from gear counts as like a separate damage tick that breaks the prison. And for Magneto's, it's basically instant, so you'll never actually even see the... Like, you see how all that metal stuff that comes out? That's the animation from the prison, like, breaking. If I take my equipment off, you'll see how this ability actually works. It encases them in, like, a box sort of thing. But it doesn't work on a lot of enemies. It's not reliable. And of course, without bonus damage from gear, it's like, well, I'm gonna have to cast it like 5 times to kill something, so...
Victory
It's
is
just
mine!
a long way from being a satisfactory ability. It also has a fairly slow cast time, but early game, use what you got. Beggars cannot be choosers. And we just got a nice chunk of EXP, which I'm happy for. Yeah, I keep seeing the skill thing and thinking I have stat points to spend.
Pathetic.
And yeah, as you can see, and we kind of just have to take these fights the slow way,
You should have run when you
particularly
had the
when there's
chance.
enemies that are resistant to energy and mental. Then we're just really on the struggle bus. Thankfully, all that bonus gear means you know, we can just punch those guys to death. A little bit scary, but
Once again, I am victorious.
it's hard to get into trouble in rooms like that.
You should have run when you had the chance.
Camera, please turn. Okay.
Somebody stop him!
I'm gonna stop him. And yeah, we're gonna fully clear this area. It is what it is. It's a little bit grindy, but as I say, I either do a little bit of grinding in Act 1 to hit that beautiful, beautiful level 14, grab my shrapnel sentry, and then everything is just gravy from there. Or I could try to force through to Act 2 with these damage abilities and not gonna have a good time at all. Like even just getting to like Abyss and the Grand Hall and stuff, you really start to fall off here. And there's our first homing beacon, very nice. I think I might have left one or two enemies in there that honestly we're fine. Almost at level 12. I can get all of the bonus EXP in this place, and I can get the and I can do both sides of the Rescue the Prisoners bonus quest, so you know I don't have to worry about struggling for that. This room.
I am victorious.
It's so wide and open, and being able to fly means you can either and zap means we can either fly over and break them, which gets rid of a huge frustration because man, making those jumps is painful, or we just zap them from this side. Either way, easy game, easy life. I am happy.
This is incredible.
As a level, and we're a chunk of the way to another. I don't think we are hefty enough to do that. We'll have to go grab less support. Not a problem when you have flight.
Thanks for saving. Well,
And we are pretty much done here. We'll just kind of walk to the exit.
Victory is mine!
From here. Really? Really? Sorry, I was just checking something on my
it's good
stream.
to see you guys. Yeah.
And here we go.
If you
Hold on. 9 EP potions should be enough. I mean, I guess. Like I say, we're going to be getting a redistribute at some point anyway, so maybe it'll help with this fight.
You're not going any further, my sins. Oh, but why do you? Good. Come a little. This is going to hurt you a lot more than it's going to hurt me. You have to focus. Fight harder.
I really hate that ability. I think that, honestly, it might be my single biggest pet peeve in this entire game. Is just, like, it extends so much further than the visual indicator of the hitbox that... And you can see the first hit of that still clipped me, and I was so far away. But this isn't too bad. Oh. We have a cheese spot. Everyone loves a cheese spot. I lost my cheese. But I do like her attack pattern. I think it's like... It's not the easiest thing in the world to read. I just wish the hitbox on that was like a little bit less favorable for her, you know? But hell, make it do more damage or something. Ooh, wonder if we... Oh no, she's sick of our shit, okay.
You have to focus. Fight harder. You have not seen the
Yeah,
last
and
of me.
we just damage straight at the end because I'm tired of kiting. You know, you kite to make sure your resources don't get worn out. Unless it's a boss like Sugar Man who can straight up burst you down. She can kill you on hard difficulty. She can do enough damage. Actually, hold on. That's fine. I still have 5 AP pots. No reason to run off.
Victory!
And as you can see, this ability being able to like throw hounds, for example, like that never stops being useful to you in the game. In fact, in a weird way, in some ways, this ability only gets more useful because the damage. Okay, so what's better? An early game ability that, you know, maybe 2 shots at enemy flings them about a little bit. It's decent, you know. But you can't spam it. It's pretty costly energy-wise. Or a late game ability that like essentially is free. It essentially costs 0 energy. Hold on. Yeah, pardon me just for a moment. I'm gonna have to make a call. Pardon me. Let's see about... Yeah, bring the game back up. And continuing where we left off. So we just got some bonus EXP. As you see, it's a good chunk. And we've got another one of them coming in when we get to the Sinister encounter.
Victory is mine!
Oh, thank you. Not really, kind of. I don't know. Oh, thank... Oh, thank you.
And looking at the bonus stat thing, it's driving me nuts. I keep thinking I need to go do something.
Time for a
I wish that combo would one-shot. It'd be really nice, but it is what it is.
I am unable to lift.
Freaking hounds, man.
How typically feeble.
More power!
It is good though. We're so close to level 14. We might even be able to buy it. Probably not, but
We've gotta stop him!
we're gonna stop them. And yeah, as you can see there, you want to throw them into walls and stuff if you can, but
You should run when you have the chance.
get WWF'd. Why, please, leave.
Victory is mine!
Oh, that's right. I have to come from up here, and there will be a bunch of elites and stuff down here.
Victory is mine!
I require more power to do that.
And yeah, I don't mind getting slowed by this guy and having to slowly punch him to death when it's just him here, but oh, you bother.
I'm getting out of here! Oh! Oh!
You should have run when you had the chance.
Out of here. No. No. So yeah, most of the characters can do that side, which is great. But you need teleportation or telekinesis to do this side.
You were less than formidable.
So we just and them. Very nice.
Well, what have we here?
How typically feeble. Perhaps you don't know who I am.
And yeah, we want to keep those stuns hound locked. Stuns hound locked. No, we want to keep the hounds stun locked if possible. Because when there's that many of them, the slows can be absolutely lethal.
You should have run when you had the chance.
You came just... Oh! Oh!
That's a man who's been locked in a room for several days with nowhere to go to the bathroom. I feel bad for him.
I'm getting out of here!
I feel bad for that guy. That was just rude. Like, don't even thank us, bro. Good joke. Meow. Lying is so great. We have no EP. But we won't need it. Because we are the greatest.
I'm getting out of here! Oh, thank you. Oh! Oh!
Meow. 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 Back to Sanctuary, and I've been doing this for, wow, almost 2 hours. This has been a really slow run. But it is what it is.
Do you have any questions?
Oof, I really wish I could just get this, but it's not super feasible. And we are very, very close to 14. In fact, if I go straight to the Sinister room, I just grab the data distance down here first. Ching.
Victory is mine!
I don't actually want to come down that way just yet, but that's fine. He can be aggroed. Same.
Greetings.
And there's my second lot of bonus EXP. Pew! Pew!
I require...
I can't believe it.
I can't believe it!
I would.
I can't believe it! And would
This
you
is
look
incredible.
at that? Level 14, we did not even need to do all the things that we in fact did. But that's okay. Might as well. Won't notice. Ooh, okay, alright. Okay, alright. Try a hard bargain game. But yes, so now, as you can see, we're actually looking at blocking, 40-something% of all ranged attacks. And remember, it's ranged attacks that are dangerous. You can kite melee enemies. And this is Shrapnel Sentry, which you'll see how fantastic it is. I might even put the Uncanny back on, just for the... But I think physical damage will work through these as well, so... And
is mine.
you see why I love this ability. Like, see how much of the environment it blew up? That shows you how massive the damage radius on this ability is. It is so fantastic for screen clearing, and that's just with 2 of them. It starts with 2. Like, when it gets to 3, that's just like flat out 50% better.
Well, what have we here?
But also, like, tripling instead of doubling the effectiveness of damage from gear. Hold on. What we need to do is, yeah, just check this back. And we'll just go have an easy game and an easy life.
How pathetic.
Thank you so much.
And yeah, we don't really need to continue getting these hostages, but we're so close to having them all. It would be crazy to just...
What have we here?
Damn, that guy just winged me.
How pathetic.
Oh, wait, hold on. Okay, you be there, you be there. Okay, thanks. Much better. Oh.
Right there. Oh, I can't.
I am not getting those tech bits. I'm tired. I've actually had a really busy day.
I require more power to do that. How typically feeble.
Give me your back shot. I'm getting out of here.
But tomorrow I will take another look
Hey guys, this is Blink.
at my old PC. I'll take a look at the RAM, make sure it's not that, and you know, maybe dig up like a really old school monitor cable. And you can see the combination of Polarized Shield and Shrapnel Sentry. You know, it's way, you know, it's still in like its absolute infancy at this point.
All right.
It just gets so much better. Like when you're throwing 5 of them out,
Victory is mine!
it really is just easy game, easy lifetime. So one of the few problems with Shrapnel Sentry is it's very dicey on whether or not it damages environmentals. When it blows up, it absolutely deletes them, and if you can hit them direct, as you can see, it can break them. But it's not a very reliable... But if there's enemies, and the enemies make the sentries explode, then they'll destroy everything very easily.
That was you! Anytime.
As you can see, when it blows up, it takes the whole freaking room.
Victory!
And you've seen how much I worry about that mob on other heroes. Because Tyrants are just super dangerous. And we don't even put Polarized Shield up for a lot of encounters now. We just don't even worry. Late game, when the energy cost like ceases to really be relevant, and it stays up for like 30 seconds or something, yeah. There's pretty much no reason to not just permanently have it up.
Once again, I am victorious. I cannot do that because I lack the power.
And yeah, you know, normally I'm pretty cautious in this area, but like, you know, again, it's not just about the raw number of the damage, it's about how your abilities put it on target, so how effectively you get it on target. And this ability is maybe the best type in the world, where it's just like massive AoE with none of the typical downsides of AoE. Because, you know, usually AoE is going to be like so annoying.
Give me a hand here.
Yeah, normally the thing with AoE, let's see how what that rare is. I mean, 2 EP per knockout is not worthless, but by the time I can put it on, it's not gonna. And yeah, so you can still use levitation to yeet enemies back, so it's still there, it still has value, but of course we will redistribute and we will drop it down to a single skill point. And here we just want to activate this, please get out of my way, activate the door.
Whoa, hold up then. Well, you can each.
Once again.
And now the thing is, because I have farmed so much EXP here, I have no problem just cheesing my way over that door and getting out of there. Like, it would be cool to get level 15. I don't know, maybe we'll go back and I'll just get to level 15 so you can if I do this area and the bonus portal, I should get level 15 and unlock my extreme, which I kind of want to show you. I don't think it's not one of the better extremes, but you know, it's an extreme. You can clear the screen. But you can see how devastating Shrapnel Sentry is. And the thing is, the more the enemy density, the more effective it is. It's just like, it's so fantastic. Actually, what I can do is one. Yeah, this qualifying exam
Magneto. Remember to follow my commands.
should be more than enough
The course is now active.
to get me that level.
I promise you a slow and agonizing demise. Please do not give up just yet.
I cannot do that because I lack the power.
As you can see, there is like a tiny bit of nuance in the way you use this. Like if you know, in a corner like this, you just kind of throw it at the corner. But look at that damage, it's so good.
Completed. Grade.
And remember, this ability,
Congratulations.
you know, improves itself multiplicatively. Like when you have 3, you're tripling rather than doubling the damage, the bonus damage from your gear. Honestly, like, might as well. We're going to be getting a redistribute at some point anyway, but Yeah, we might as well go in here as well. It's slightly dangerous, but we should be fine.
How typically feeble.
And yeah, anyone who's seen me in here before knows how tanky these guys are. And how dangerous these guys are. With all that chain CC potential and actually like pretty high damage.
I can't do that because I lack the power.
Now you see, we almost ran out of energy there, and it actually gets really dicey. Those guys just hurt. We're done down here. Apart from this guy, and these guys are always just big and spongy. Like, they're dangerous when there's other enemies around because they can stun you and then the other enemies can mess with you, or even if there's just a mob of them. But
Hello.
as a kind of mini boss, they're pretty pretty nothing enemies. Now the thing is, no, there should be enough crates to guarantee an extreme token before I hit the boss. So. Certainly before I get to the second stage. So you can power loop this area if you want, even just this first stage of it, you just keep coming out and coming back.
Ma, he found a car. I hope you appreciate the gravity of this situation.
Of course, he opens with that, which is such an annoying ability, just because it's like just turning off the game for so long.
This really sucks, doesn't it? Some people think I'm a real drag.
At least it gives me... I was gonna say at least it gives me time to regen my EP, but it actually looks like... Oh no, I was gonna say it looks like that's more or less frozen during the time period, but it's not.
I require more.
Let's see if this does better damage. I think the physical is better.
This really sucks, doesn't it?
It's so annoying.
I require more power to do that.
Some people think I'm a real drag.
I like all the boss fights in this game. And a lot of them are kind of simple. This is the only one that like genuinely kind of sucks. And it's purely just because of that mechanic. It's just such a bad mechanic. It's like, just like, I know exactly what he's doing. He's pulling you in close, and then he has this really heavily telegraphed, like, sort of 360 punch, that the idea is, like, you pull the entire team in, and if they don't, you know, think to move away, then, your entire team gets waxed by this big AoE punch. But it's like, you don't need to pause the game for 5 seconds every time he does it. It's just so bizarre to make this choice where it's like, you can't play the game and he isn't playing the game. And it's an animation that could have taken a second, and I would never say a bad word about it if it just took a second and it was just like, you know, this really sucks, and then you're instantly, like, in there. But it's just the time it takes. It's like, jeez. Just let me play the game, bro. Like, let yourself play the game. And yeah, always nice to just grab some loot here, get these boxes, because I am going to be buying that redistribute at the very start of Act 2, which will be tomorrow night's video, assuming I don't get my Scarlet Witch save files back. That was a little bit dicey, but a little bit risky. I don't normally take risks like that. Anyway. Let's finish this Gronk off.
This should be a blast!
What do we have here?
I require more power to do that.
This should be a blast!
I need backup!
Victory is mine!
Oh, I'll never tire of this game!
Hold on. I can't actually use my ultimate right now, because I don't know what keybind it is, so let me just very quickly fix that. Okay, so probably that. Okay, there we go. And as you can see, it's just a big screen clearing nuke. It's great. Do you need it?
Wanna go out?
Like I said, there's situations where it's good to have, and you have the skill points to max it, so you have damage on a separate
How typically
damage type. That was super
Wanna go
annoying.
out with a bang?
Oh my god, game, let me turn around, please. Can I pick it up?
Take him down and make it hurt!
once again, I am victorious.
Somewhat frustrating Abyss fight, but not too bad. Damage good when we could get the abilities on him. Polarized Shield would have made it a lot smoother, but honestly, just having the time to even stop and keep recasting it is not very realistic in there, which is why I wasn't worrying about too much. Please, auto-targeting, please. Like, it is frustrating enough when auto-targeting will, like, shoot past an enemy to, like, fire at a box. But, like, then you just get in situations like this, where it's literally... Like, I'm turning my character model around to face this guy, and it just doesn't care. It literally just spins me 180. to just shoot at empty nothingness. Like, it's so bad and so frustrating. But, you know, if you have AoE abilities, if you have fast abilities, then it's not that bad. You can definitely play around it. Even with bad abilities and slow abilities, as we've demonstrated, you can play around it. It's just sanity draining. But here we are, Act 1, done and done.
Hello.
And the only thing we might need now is...
Do you have any questions?
If this guy had a belt, then that would be great. He doesn't. So we probably just grab this for when we hit level 20. Grab this, so it's just one and done. Chat
That was a most now that you know.
with the professor, head to Act 2. I shouldn't have to worry about my game crashing now. What do you mean cannot skip? Tell me why I can skip. I can't skip. Cheeky freaking game.
Apocalypse has him and all that about my
Anyway, so what do we want? We want Shrapnel Sentry. When do we want it? We want it now. We want Metallic Mayhem. We want Polarized Shield. And wait, hold on. Flight, Mutant Muscle, Magnetic Deflection, and we may just leave that there. I know it looks weird, but to have 6 free skill points, but those skill points will be used. Trust me. So yeah, now we just save, and really glad to be back to streaming on the new PC. Thanks to anyone who did check this out. I really appreciate it. Hopefully the stream worked out in technical terms and was all good. Anyway, we will continue tomorrow, hopefully, with the Scarlet Witch playthrough. Like I said, I'm going to try to get that save data. But if I can't, which I will eventually get it, it's just a question of whether or not I can get it tomorrow. But if I can't get it tomorrow, we'll continue with this. Anyway, until then, take care. Really appreciate anyone who checked this out. And yeah, see you tomorrow.